So Lars, welcome to In5d Network. Thanks for joining me today.
Thank you, and nice to see you again.
It is nice to see you, and you just recently had a Skype with my friend Emma.
Yeah, I did. Really nice lady.
That was so nice to
She,
hear her.
yeah, she was here visiting me here in my hometown.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah,
See, I
yeah,
already
it was,
messed up.
yeah. Just for 2 days though, but it was lovely.
Oh, she's
And
got beautiful energy.
yeah, really. And the best thing was that she have a dog that has been very anxious for a long, long time. And she has some personal things going on. And as soon the dog come into my apartment, it was just laying down, relaxed. It was like it felt the energy field in here, and I was bursting it in front of their coming here. He and her boyfriend. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
A friend of mine has several dogs, and they
yeah,
usually go crazy. And one in particular usually barks and just barks nonstop when someone's in the house. But all of them jumped up in my lap.
yeah,
And the old one, domineering one comes running in the living room and just comes up right up to me. Didn't jump in my lap, but just comes right up to me and sits next to me. So
yeah,
and by the end of the day, though, they were all in my lap. She took a picture. She just couldn't believe it. So that's so funny. And, dogs have a really good sense, I think, of energy. So that's
yeah.
wonderful.
They do. They feel when it's genuine love energy in the neighborhood of them. They feel that directly. They are sensitive, just like small children and cats and all other animals.
And not
So
that Emma's not got wonderful energy. She does. It's just when people are under stress, the dogs can tell that
yeah,
they're under
yeah.
stress. So thank
They
you so
pick that
much
up.
for taking my friend Emma into your home. I
No,
met
no
Emma at
problem.
the Dreamers Conference in Finland, and we both have YouTube videos on N5D. There's an article, I believe, that has our videos of, it says Dreamers Finland Conference number
Yeah,
2 or something like that, or continued. And so I really like what Emma has to say. So I think that's awesome because you live in Sweden and she lives in Norway.
yeah,
It's not too far away, a lot closer than the U.S.
yeah. It is. It's not. It's just 2.5, 3 hours in the car, so not that far.
So, Lars, I came across your information, as some people will know, from
So
running across Hank Jones II, running across
yes,
his channel, his YouTube channel, and you and Hank have several videos together. And I was immediately
many.
attracted to your work, yes, where Hank would take you under a guided visualization and you connect with certain aspects of your higher self and other beings who may have
Yes,
information and want to answer questions. That's kind of like they put their hand up. Your higher self in a female form takes you where you need to go to meet the beings. And
yes,
Hank has asked you, has kind of guided you and asked you, now where are you now and what's happening now? And then
yeah,
Hank and you always have met beforehand and had questions that you wanted to ask. And then Hank takes it one step further with his questions on either
yeah,
personal questions or things that he just is really curious about that just comes to him. But the reason it
yeah,
works so well with you and Hank is because we found out on a Cosmic Awakening show together that you and Hank are on an Orion Council together. And
yeah,
not only that, but we found out that I'm on the council with you. And there's another
yeah.
lady that Hank knows that's on the council. So that was just
Yes,
fascinating to me, very interesting, and that totally explained why I was attracted to you and Hank and your work together. And so on the last show, we didn't get a chance to spend a lot of time together, you and I, kind of diving into
no
some deep metaphysical, and
issues.
philosophical
Yeah,
discussions. Yes. So that's why
yes,
we're here today. And
yeah,
I just want to start out by telling everyone how positive that you are. And it's always really good to have a friend that is always there for you unconditionally, no matter what. And it's really nice to have a positive, someone who's always got a positive demeanor, no matter what. I mean, some people right
Yeah.
now are going through a lot of issues in their life, and I just want to thank you for being in my life and introduce you to everyone else.
Yeah, thank you very much. Yeah, me and Hank had done, I think we've done over nearly 100 sessions together. But I have done this kind of things for many, many years before that. So it didn't start with that, but I come across, it started with me looking at Dolores Cannon's work because I resonated with that. And I was searching for practitioners here in Sweden, but there weren't no available then. Now it's popping up. But I resonate with the way he did his sessions. So I took contact with him and asked if we can work together. He was little, he hesitated a little
What
bit.
drew you to him, though? What was it that caught you?
The energy from him when he made a session with other people. I felt I had some kind of connection with him, though we're living across the world and not coming out of the same reality at all. But you know that we are on several councils together, and we have worked together many, many times before. So,
Yes.
and you are in there in the corner also.
I'm in the corner. Well, you know, we all have several councils that we work
Yeah.
with. Well, those of us who are what I call a starseed or what I call a volunteer soul that's here to help humanity and Earth go through this vibrational and conscious shift. And so we are all in no time in several different places at once.
Yeah. There is because there is no time. It's just now, always now, and has always been and forever are going to be. So, but can be a hard concept to grasp for many. Yeah, but
That's cool. I'm sorry. I just want to say I really apologize, everyone, for the internet connection. I have been working an hour to get. I have full bars on my computer. It shows we have full bars, but it's still there's some kind of interference going on. So because we both have a mission in getting information out there and keeping fear out of people's minds, and so that's why information always just makes you feel like, you know, if you're more informed, you feel like you know what's going on. There's less to fear, and you feel a little bit more centered and grounded. So.
That is why sorry. That is why I am concentrating on now, letting people understand what I need to get rid of or lose the grip of, because they are grasping to conceptions and understanding and beliefs that are not in their best interest at all. And it's very different in different countries, but I understand very much of fear-mongering going on in US and even here in Sweden in some way, but not that intensive as you are experience.
Well,
but I have.
We'll get into we're going to get into your session in just a second. What I wanted to finish up with was how fascinating it is when Hank takes you on guided visualization and you're able to connect visually and audibly to your higher selves. And this is exactly what Dolores Cannon and others have been telling us about for 25 or 30 years on how we would, as we ascend, we would be able, meaning we'd raise our vibrational frequency in our body, raise our consciousness level, how we would be able to connect with higher aspects of ourselves, merge with them, and hold that frequency here on the planet, which is helping the planet ascend.
Yeah. because it's a process that's going on not just in our personal life, but as a whole in our solar system, on other planets, is going on in this area of the universe we are right now. So that bursting of energy is coming in really in a high frequency now. So the sooner we can let go of low density, as sooner we can transcend and stay in that reality or in that kind of manifestation.
And so if anyone would like to check out what I'm talking about watching you basically laid back on the couch with your eyes closed into deep meditation, they can look at your YouTube channel, which I'm going to put a link below this video.
Yeah.
And also Hank Jones too is Hank's. So hi Hank, if you're listening, we love you.
Yeah, we do.
So, but Lars, you have now gotten to the point, because you have practiced meditation and connecting with your higher self so much, that you now have gotten to the point where you can literally take yourself into a deep meditation, connect with your higher selves, and be fully conscious at the same time, and ask questions, receive information. And you have been doing these written information sessions that you use a robotic voice on YouTube to speak them, because your language, your English isn't as nice as you would like it to be, although I understand you perfectly. And I think you froze up on my end. Okay, are you back? There you go.
Yeah, same here. But also, first I transcribed them into English, so there was just text. But sometimes they were getting rather long, and it's hard to keep on reading, and you have to read in a pace while it's scrolling up. So I decided to test with English voice to what you want to read or listen. So I'm trying that out for the moment. I'm not that satisfied, but it's better than it was before. So yes.
Well, so I keep getting internet connection problem issues here. So I don't know if we should go to audio only, or if we should just continue. What do you? Am I freezing up a lot on you?
On and off, but not that bad.
Okay.
I think it can be, because I can tell you that I have been this subject for some attention from outside. A couple of weeks they have followed me and they have checked me out, so maybe they are trying to interfere. I don't know.
Yeah, you've got some people following you, literally.
Yeah. But they are
well, maybe they'll learn something.
It's not futile at all for them to follow. Yeah, and I approached them last time and told them to stop, because it do no one any good.
The lights just went out in my conference room.
You see? Yeah.
That's weird. I had to come down to the conference room, because in my room I only had 2 bars, and so I came down here. I've got full bars, and now the lights go out. You can still see me though, right? Hopefully they'll.
Can I make a joke? you only need 1 bar.
Oh my gosh! Did you see that? They just came back by themselves.
I think it's motion activated.
Well, what I wanted to get into now is I'm fascinated to hear what you took from what you learned from Dolores Cannon, from other practitioners, and all for 30 plus years you've been actually doing your own method of guided visualization, where you help people get into connection with wherever their higher self wants to take them. Why don't you explain a little bit about how that works and what you can do for people?
Yeah, and actually I counted the other day, it's 43 years now I'm going on with this work. I was fascinated over Dolores' work because she talked about things I have experienced myself for so many years in my meditation, coming into that realm of understanding. But I didn't use any hypnotic technique at all. I used my meditation. And as a it was an owl that taught me this method many, many years ago. And first I used it as a personal development, helping people in groups. And then I understand that it could be so much more. And I have used that in my meditation since I was 15 years old. And the more I present, I went, how you want to see it. So and it's really working. And I come into that reality where Dolores Cannon's method took her clients, and I do it really easy now. I can just close my eyes and count to 5 and I'm there. But it's like all things, you need to practice to do it better and better. And first it was really hard to do session with Hanks because I get the message in my language, in Swedish, and many of the message is coming in form of images, feelings, and sometimes word. So I have to interpret them first into my language, then translate it into English to make it understandable for as many as possible. Because I want to reach out. So in the beginning, and as I think that good, but I think it's improving, and yeah, I think it will be good things in the future. For the moment, we have taken a little break, me and Hank. Yeah, different reasons, but we're still in contact almost every day anyway. So we talk about a lot of things, issues around the world going on. So,
Yeah, there's a ton of information to be picked up
Yes.
if you have the time to sit down and watch a video. I mean, some people may want to listen to it while they're driving or while they're doing housework or whatever. If they're just too busy, or maybe they can listen to it at work, you know. They can put headphones on and listen to it at work. So, but on your
Yeah.
for your sessions, you work by donation, by donation on your website. Do you have a suggested amount that people should donate? Is
I
that
have
listed on your website?
no. It's really. It's freely to donate what amount they want to.
Okay.
It can be 5 cents if they want to. But I have a Patreon page also where I think the lowest sum you can contribute with or pledge is $1. And I don't think there is an upper limit, but it usually is for people. So it's self-policing. And you can pledge for monthly fee or for every session I put up. And you can take it away whenever you want if you feel that no, not now, so you can take it away. So it's
Now
and that will of
you've
course
been
help me.
I'm sorry. You've been disabled or not able to find work. So this is everything that
Oh,
this is everything. This is how you eat. I mean, it's not about you know, everything should be free and you know, yeah, everything should be free, but right now it's not. And if you don't have sessions or if you don't have you know, donations, it becomes very hard for you to keep you know, your lights on or a place for you
yeah,
to
of
do
course.
these and
Then I have to
internet.
concentrate to it.
Right. So I mean, we're
Yes,
all there.
yes,
All the practitioners that do something for someone
yeah,
else, we're all there. So I think it's great though that you have a donation, because everybody's kind of in the same position. It's really hard to part with the little money that they do have. So
yeah, yeah.
I totally understand, but I think it's really cool that you have the donation thing. Now tell me though, continue on to what someone could expect by having a session with you, and you do it by Skype.
Yeah, usually it depends. Are they living near me, they can come to my home and do it here. I done that also, but most of them I do through Skype. I haven't done that many yet because I have worked on the method I use to do this, but I have come to the understanding that the way I started to do it is the best way. It usually is. So they can expect nothing, but they can
Yes,
also they can expect
that's true.
everything.
Yeah,
So
but still, you even have some sessions up where you've taken people under and you guide them to where you are very intuitive. So you're already connected with your higher selves. I mean, you're connected with so many
yeah,
of them, it's crazy. And
yes,
you know exactly where they're going, and can you see as well sometimes
yeah,
where your clients are going as well,
yes,
and it makes
yes.
it easier for you to ask the right questions.
Yes, I'm usually connect because I used to have a talk in front of the session, and I don't start right away. It's I need to feel the person I'm going to put under, so to say, and I want to. That's make me possible to connect with them and their higher selves. And when that connection is done, it usually go splendidly. Is no problem because I can be in their visualization they have as an observer, so I can see what they are going through, and that's really exciting sometimes because
Yeah,
yeah,
imagine. That's
yeah,
fascinating work.
yeah.
Now, and you
So
also can help them get help from their higher self to get healed as well, right?
yeah, yeah, exactly. If they need to and have that intention in front of the session, they will help them to heal also. So it works almost like the Laura Cannon's session. You can get that because the healing is coming from yourself, of course, as we all can do. But when you are in that higher state, you're losing all boundaries, all limitations, so they can connect to your cellular structure in a better way, so they can give you that healing. Yeah.
Well, tell us, let's jump to that subject if you don't mind. Tell us how all the memory of everything you've ever been and ever will be is stored in your cells.
Uh, I can connect to, sorry, dry air in here. I can connect to it's almost like a big library, and not only for my own experience, I can connect to everyone else's experience also. It's like when we living here on this planet, collect a lot of experience, all of us, and we put all of that experience in this. I used to have the uh, vision of a big pool. We put everything in that pool, and the higher you raise, the more information you can get from that place. And when you're in density, we almost just have our finger over the edge into that pool. But when you go higher, you can almost plunge in there, and there is no limitation for what knowledge and understanding and feelings you can perceive. And I can also take this that if you imagine a very, very big warehouse, you're stepping in there and it's totally dark. And in 3D, you can only perceive the things you are looking at. You can only see what you are able to connect. When you rise higher, someone turns on the light, and you have the ability to connect to everything that has ever been and will ever be. So that's that's powerful, really powerful.
Now, how do you raise your vibration to that level? I know it's if I were to guess,
Yeah,
I would say that it's the connection of allowing your higher self to step through
yeah,
into the earth body.
right.
What
Yeah.
would you say it is?
It's not really connected with my body. The body is very important in our experience here, of course. But when I take a little trip in my meditation, and in in one part of the heart could get me to a higher state, and that is
Oh, hang on
totally,
just a second.
yeah,
You kind of cut out. So you said I take a little trip, and then you said in one part, and then I couldn't hear.
yeah, yeah. There's several images in my meditation that represent different areas. So I'm
Okay.
starting in my everyday life, and then I go into the subconscious, and I take a trip to my feelings, and I then climb myself to come to this higher frequency, and then something is coming and help me in that state. So they are
Okay.
all, yeah.
So do you imagine it, or you imagine yourself climbing a ladder, or how do you get
I'm climbing a mountain.
a mountain?
The nice thing with this is that your imagination is enough. You can use that, and it works. Because many people can say, "Oh, I don't see that," but you can imagine. If I say, "Can you imagine a yellow flower?" 99% can imagine a yellow flower. So you don't really need to see the flower, but you can imagine it, and you should to that, and works brilliantly. So yes, and yeah, when people can see my method. I've done it on Hank a couple of times. I've done it. I think that was in Swedish though. But with Hank, I put him under, and it works brilliantly. So no problem. I can see that on my YouTube channel also.
Now, you and I haven't done it yet because obviously I haven't had an internet connection for a while. I have been away from the In5d office for about 3 weeks now, and I haven't really been out in the public eye much because I'm taking care of putting a house on the market. And I've been literally busy and out in the country for 3 weeks with only satellite internet connection. But I'm almost finished. I'm almost on the way back to the In5d office, and we're preparing for our psychic conference coming up on October 15th in Sarasota, Florida. We're really excited about that. We're bringing some more of our friends in to speak with everyone. So we are in an amazing time right now. The energies are off the hook. I'm shocked at the number of things that have come up in my reality to be dealt with. I mean, they have to be dealt with and put behind me quickly because I'm moving so quickly, so fast towards another frequency. And you and I talked about one time how interesting it is when something happens to you or something comes into your reality, how we both say, okay, now, why did that happen?
Yeah.
Right? And always trying to figure out the underlying reasons because we are literally creating our own reality in order to move through energy.
Exactly. We all create our reality, but we also have to remind us that we are a collective too. So we are having our own experience, but we are also connecting to the collective. So it's really good to realize that, because if you realize that, you can make sense of your experience in another way, because it's not for the ego, it's not for boost your ego, it's for boost the ascension we're going through now. So people need to have to let go of many issues and beliefs, what they hold on to before. And I decided not to be so active in searching out other light beings' work, because I wanted to stay really clean and get my own messages through that I can stand by. And I think I decided not to get influenced, but now and then you do that anyway because others talk to you.
Sometimes it really helps, especially in well, I'm different because it's my job to look at everything and to discern and to pass on what I feel like is important.
Exactly.
But my guides, because I'm very intuitive and because I know certain things, and I have had visualization and things in other lifetimes, I didn't come here to have those skills. What I came here is to have the skills I needed to do the job, which is intuition and knowing, clear, clairsentient, clear feeling, but clear cognizant. So what's cool is to be able to connect with people who do have clairvoyance and clairaudience, so that I can put what I'm going through together with what they see, and it's like a bigger picture. It's like, because we are all connected, like you said, and when we are going through something, a lot of people want to say I, and they want to be automatically, our reality is one that is based in fear and makes us feel like that we're a victim. And to, what we really can learn and from things that happen in our reality is it's just the opposite. Things are created for either you to help someone else out or for them to help you out by being in relationship and connection. And so a lot of times people just want to hibernate and they want to be introverted and not be around other people. And I really think that is slowing down the progress of people moving through their shit, if I may say it, so that we can keep rising. They just want to feel comfortable and they just want to stay. I just can't handle other people. I think that we've turned a corner, and I think that we're at a spot right now. It took me a lot of balls, let's just say. I don't have balls, but it took a lot of balls to face my fear of being on a radio show, speaking my voice, being on camera, even writing articles and wondering what other people were going to say. So I'm urging people, I'm not being judgmental, I'm being very observant. I'm an observer. I'm a third-party observer. It's my job to do that and to report back. I report somewhere else several times when I go to sleep. I'm taking all of what I've read, seen, heard, witnessed, and I take it back to councils or I take it back to a ship or whatever. But now is the time really. And not everybody has to run out and have a radio show or write a blog, but at least if an opportunity arises to have a relationship, whether it be with the grocery store clerk or with your parents or with a person, to take it, to take that and see what comes of it.
Yeah, it's really important to understand that we are connected all the time, but we reconnect in every meeting we do, in every day. And it's very important to acknowledge that connection with other people. If it's the clerk in the grocery store or whatever, you can say, thank you very much. I love this work you do. And I approached a lady, talking very nicely with her children. She really took her time. She was a single mom. It ended up to get that knowledge. And she was talking with her children in a way that I really appreciated. And I went forward to say, I love you for what you do with your children. It's so easy to say. And she really shined up like a sun. It can be hard sometimes, she said. Sure, because you are learning also. But this doing with you is great. It's easy to say that if you really mean it from your heart. Yeah.
So, one of the things we wanted to talk about was how old beliefs can block us or hold us back from moving forward. What would you like to say about beliefs?
We can talk about different beliefs. We are in an area where we got feeded with a lot of information to hold us back in lower density, fear-mongering, also religious belief hold us back because it's meant for that. It's created for hold us back and in control. So as sooner we can get rid of all those fears that we hold, the sooner we can rise into a high frequency. And I also want to say that we have to understand that nothing lives for itself. We are here as a singular being, having a singular experience, yes, but that is for the best of the collective. Water doesn't drink itself. The flower doesn't have essence for themselves, and so on. Everything is for something else. There is always a purpose behind every action or happening in our lives. And if we take the time to think about it, and not to analyze it, but to really get it in deep, and analyze it maybe with your intuition, not with your mind, because that's going on a different frequency. It's like a computer running a program. Don't forget this, don't forget that, or it's just running. It's very hard to, I learned that now, how to quiet down that brain chatter going on all day. But we are fed into from different media, and it all has the same goal, or had the same goal, because it's releasing and it's losing its power in a way now. But people are still afraid of very many things, and fear is the most interruptive feeling we can have yeah, all over. Let's let go of fear. Stop to be fearful about everything outside yourself, because you have the answer inside yourself. But I understand that it can be very stressful to walk into a dark room with no lights on, and I've done that several times. And yes, you can be standing in the threshold and waiting and waiting and waiting for several years before you take that step. But all out there now, understand that you are protected and you are sheltered for, and you don't need to keep on to that fear. You don't need to listen to it anymore. It have no purpose in your life or in your surrounding life, your family and everyone around you. Let go of that.
I do think that letting go, I think right now letting go is one of the most important things that I've done.
Yes.
I have had a house for many years that I built with my ex-husband, and I've let it go, all right, meaning that I let it go, I let it sit out there. My son lived in it for a while, and it just kind of got run down, and I've had to do a lot of work. But I also have gone through a lot of personal items, and I posted some pictures of myself when I was a kid and a teenager and young adult. That was kind of fun. But I've given away, sold, and thrown away so much stuff this last 3 weeks. It's amazing the timing of the need that I felt when I got here to do this. I didn't come here in Texas to do this. I came here as a halfway point on a camping trip that thought I had decided that's what I was going to do. So I find it fascinating as I began to go through and let go material things. I'm not saying that it's in everybody's best interest to sell their house, give everything away, and, lighten their load. But for me, it's been fascinating to look back and see how freeing it has made me. And I also think I really am one of these people who think that there's something that is going to occur with me and is occurring with me. The end of this month, end of this year, whatever, that we're getting so close to something big. And we've been saying that for years, but literally something did happen December 21st of 2012. Not what I expected, and that's my fault for having the wrong expectation. But it happened.
No, but you have been fed that information that something is going to happen. You have been fed that for several years in front of. So, of course, you believe that. And it's very hard to separate out the real, genuine information in all that. But I think you work now, you're doing a wonderful job by collecting different messages, put it together in your work, as you do in 5D and Vuvu media and so on,
Yes,
because
and how to exit the
you're
matrix.
constant. Yes,
Boo boo.
Vuvu. It sounds like a dog.
It's, yeah,
Sounds like
woohoomedia.com.
yeah. It sounds like a golden retriever.
Oh, I
Uh,
thought about that before. Thank you, Lars.
but but anyway, I think that kind of work you do. I have read some of, not all of it, of course, because I have really been busy and I'm knocking on my head every day here. So, but I read and listened to a lot, and I see the red thread in what you're doing, and that is why you're getting help from higher self to do this and concentrate. And talking about getting rid of all stuff, it's so good because you feel as good as you felt you put thing is when you get rid of it, when you don't need it anymore, uh, when it don't give you happiness or satisfaction in your life, you should lose it directly because it just then get an item you have to care for and spend time on. And I have cleansed out my garage. I have done a lot of throwing away here and giving away. I doesn't have so much to sell, but anyway, I sold that already several years ago. But it's very liberating. It's very liberating, and I don't mean that you need to live in a oh, you can still have food, but within your store that doesn't add to your life, or you just why? You just need to spend time on maintenance and care for it and check it up. I saw myself going up to my storage on the attic several times a year just to look in there and say what the mess and lock it again until I realized why do I keep that? And people say, but think if you need something, yeah, but I haven't needed it for 10 years. And if it should be so important, I can buy it again. So I used to say that to people, don't buy the couch. It just hold you to.
Well, I need a couch for sure, but
Yeah, yeah.
the thing is, is that I found, and
But
I agree.
then you need it. But you don't need two couches or three
Right,
couches.
right.
Now
And
you really break up.
yeah, I think you kind of
Oh, now
froze
you're
on.
frozen.
Okay, am I back? Am
Yeah,
I?
but you're looking like a cartoon now, on my side. Pixelated. I hear the
Well, I
sound,
think
but you froze there, so they didn't want us to know what you feel about it.
I think what's interesting, I procrastinated going through my stuff,
Yeah,
and getting rid of a lot of stuff. But what's interesting is the timing. I mean,
yeah.
I thought I was going on a little find myself retreat, and sure enough, I found myself. I found myself physically, working solid for 3 weeks straight to get things done. And I
Yeah.
just find that very, and what happened is I
The
had
sound
tried
is
to
the
get,
sound is crazy now.
okay, we'll try now. I have had tried to get contractors to come to my house and could not get them in the time period that when I'd come back and visit my house. But
Yeah,
I called a roofing company, and I had somebody out there the next day, and they did a great job. I called the sheetrock company, and I had somebody out there the very next day, and they did a great job. It's just
yeah,
amazing how it has fallen into place to wrap that part of my life up and get that responsibility off
yeah.
my plate. So letting
It was
go
the
is
right time to that now.
letting go is also, it's not just material things. What's important about letting go now is letting go of things that aren't working for you. It's not in your highest and
Yeah.
best interest.
That
And
that that doesn't. Yeah, that don't add to your life.
or your
Uh,
spiritual journey. And
yeah, of course, that's a
yeah,
part of life. Yes. Yeah.
yeah. So relationships, sometimes I've seen lots of people right now letting go of one relationship, and sure enough, it's opened them up for another one that's come right along. So or just needing to spend time by themselves.
Yeah.
That's important too.
Yeah.
Another
And
thing,
reconnect to nature is very, sorry to talk in your mouth, but
no, reconnecting to nature is
yeah,
very important.
yeah,
Where my house is literally out in the country, up on a hill, and you can't, sometimes it's so quiet.
yeah,
Oh, and before I forget, we had this migration of little bitty butterflies, not monarchs, but millions of butterflies would go across my yard, and I could just sit for
yeah,
hours and just count, thousands of butterflies migrating across. This is very interesting. So reconnecting to nature was definitely something that I did. And
yeah. And also, you're right about this, but by time is very important because, and it will not happen until it's the right time. You will not have that experience. You're out of bounds or out on not on your path. So it has to be in that duality in you that you're working with something that will free your spirit also. So yes, it's very important timing. And many people are still in low density and holding on, clinging on to that. But I also understand that we are enough to transcend now, that we are enough awakened people here now to transcend. But me and many others want to bring the other ones with us. So therefore, we keep on doing this work. So yes,
that there has to be some kind of breaking point to where
yes,
people who are ready and are really suffering because they're feeling the density, and yet they want to pull away, but yet they don't want to leave people behind. It's just psychologically gotten a little bit out of control. So I hope that of course I want to bring as many people as possible, but I hope we can't fathom how this could possibly work out to where, let's just say there was like what they call a first wave of ascension. Well, when in our reality, we could get there wherever that is in that new reality, and they could already be with us because there's no time.
yeah,
So their ascended self could already be where we're going, and
yeah,
a part of us could somehow stay back in that old reality, but our consciousness is not really there. It's just like an automatic play or something for them to
no,
kind of move through. Or maybe we do disappear out of their reality. Who knows at this point? I know Dolores said it would be something like the splitting of two worlds for sure. But I think
yeah,
it's collectively, I think when we go to sleep at night and we go back to our councils and
yeah,
we're joining with information, I think we vote on this every single day as to
yeah,
when.
yeah. And the most of us are already vibrating in fifth dimension energy, but we are not in that reality or that manifestation because we're holding on. I can be in that, and that is almost like a parallel to where we are now. I said it's just 2 feet higher. You just have to step on and leave the other one behind you. So, and it's literally just 2 feet higher.
Yeah, it is,
Yeah,
literally.
yeah, and
Oh, you're cutting out on me. Can you
perception
repeat
of
that?
reality. Yeah, I said then you step into. It's not that strange. You are not in some kind of uh, twilight zone. It's very real when you're there, but you understand so much more and connecting that you see your own connection with everything, and uh, that is very good feeling. It almost feel like a bliss when you're there because you're
Yes.
losing this low density, this low vibration that have no purpose in your life anymore. So, but most of us are already vibrating higher.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes, I
because
just
we
think
are
that
going through that space and time now that this is happening.
I just think that a lot of people are just finally ready. And you know what? The other day I had the awareness.
Yeah,
Okay, so let's just say in 2 weeks, let's just say all of a sudden I'm not here anymore, and I did go. And I had the feeling, I had to think of that to realize, okay, really, am I really ready to just leave everyone? No, but yes. So
Yeah.
I don't think I would have had that feeling if there isn't a reason for it. In other words, some of us may be getting close to a new reality. And I
Yeah.
think that we want it so bad, and I think a lot of times we run out of patience. But then yet again, I think that with everything that's happening, with the politics and everything, it only makes sense. I have to use my logical mind mixed with my intuition. It only makes sense for something to break very soon.
Yeah. And I like people to understand that you don't need to leave your body behind or your connection to people staying on in low density because you are connected backward, you are connected all the time. It's harder to go into a higher dimension without development in your soul. I have been up to the 18th dimension, and that is weird
Lars,
for us.
with all
Yeah.
all due respect, you don't get out much. It is becoming
I do.
very difficult.
I was taking a 8 hours trip yesterday outside, so I do go out, but I do a lot of work now because I
Oh, let me
work.
just say, well, maybe it's just the United States.
What?
Because it has become more and more difficult to make that um, dive back into it. But I wrote an article just recently on how I would say up until maybe this last week, I found myself having to make that dive, diving just as deep as I could go back into 3D, getting back into a 3D routine with the old family and all of these things because it felt like to me the last hurrah, the last dive in. Because what we're doing is we're bringing the base of 3D. We're getting as deep into it as we can so that we can raise the level of everything.
Yeah.
And I found myself really and it wasn't that bad then, but I do know a lot of people that are having a very difficult time still being in 3D. And it's not that they think that they're better than anyone, it's they literally psychologically and with their feelings, they literally are having a hard time.
Yeah, I know.
But that's why we're here to support each other.
Managing now, and there is also elements still here on the planet that don't want to transcend, and they are going to get help also, but they are not able to stay here, stay in the same reality we are transcending into. So, but they are. I got this message that they are taking out of here this reality, and they are going almost like in a hospital to get treatment.
Hmm. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
important to
yes.
talk about.
So no one is judging anyone, and that's very important. Let go of all judging, and let's go as much you can of your ego. They're keeping you down in density because the ego has no purpose really when we transcend because then we are really connected to the collective. So we have to get rid of that. We are a singular being and we are a collective being. So we are all connected back to the source. Call it what you want. I call it source. And I can see the physical connection when I go out in the forest or in nature. I see that silver thread
Yeah,
between every
yeah,
living being.
that is
Yes,
important.
yeah. So it's
Everything
that
is
is important.
connected.
Yeah,
When people have near-death experiences, they can see that too, and they literally are sent back or choose to come
yeah.
back to share that bit of information with everybody.
Now it's breaking up
When I
territory.
okay, people who have had near-death experiences have come back
Yeah,
to share that information that what they saw is that everything
yes,
is connected. The problem is that we're all connected in a false reality, like a matrix that
yeah,
is not the organic matrix as what it was supposed to be. Now that is dissolving, that's breaking down, and psychologically it's hard on people because their reality is literally changing.
Yes.
and causing them, their higher self, to give them thoughts of wild things that I'd never thought in my whole life I'd be selling a family place,
Oh,
something connected to family, and just just the changes. I'd never thought that I'd be wanting to give away my absolute favorite furniture,
yeah.
but it was no problem. It was easy.
Oh,
So, this reality is breaking down, and I see that.
yeah.
And I'm in the city right now. And last night, I stayed in a hotel, as I am tonight, in the city of Fort Worth. And I woke up in the middle of the night with the most intense head pain that I've ever had. I don't have headaches, but my head was hurting so bad, and I was kind of not awake, but I was in my body and aware that my head hurt. And I don't know,
Oh,
if it was being in the city and or if I was being downloaded or whatever. But
yeah.
all I'm trying to say, Lars, is things have been so wild and fast.
Yeah.
Whatever it is, I know that I'm moving towards something fabulous. So there's no
Yeah.
fear.
Yeah.
And if that's what it takes
But
to have a
it
little
can
head
be
pain.
very intense. Yeah, it can be very intensive, but we have to understand also that this is supervised what's going on, so nothing will be that dramatic that we can't cope with it, but we can feel it very intensively. So yes, you can have a headache, you can have blurry vision, you can have tiny, call it, sounds in your ear
Tinnitus,
that not, yeah. So
ringing of the ears.
yeah, that is the frequency that we receiving, but it's overseen and observed from outside guide, and it is to make this transition as easy as possible. But we also have to understand that the planet expanding with us, so
Hold
it
on.
will be not
You cut out. The planet is what?
expanding with us.
Okay.
So therefore, it's very important now to connect back, to give that energy back to the planet. You can go out in a park, just put your hands on the grass and say, "I love you," and then it's good because you don't need to make a big fuss of it. It's really, really easy to do this.
hmm
Yes,
Simplicity, for sure.
yeah, yeah. Have
I
to
I
change the way.
I connect when I was pulling those weeds. And I said, "I'm so sorry,
Yeah,
weed. I have
sure.
to pull you." But other people
Yeah,
think that it is normal to not have weeds when you
yes,
have a house. So I'm
yes,
pulling them,
yeah,
grasping them, pulling them, and saying, "I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you."
yes,
But, and cutting tree limbs. "I'm so sorry, Clip. I'm so sorry, Clip." But, it's
yeah,
part of, grooming to
yeah.
sell a place.
Yeah,
But
that's a little sad, but that's the
it is,
reality. Yes.
yeah.
But you
I mean,
also, when
that's,
you do that, that you say, sorry, I need to do this, then you are
yeah,
connected in a way that is okay to do it. So, yes.
yeah, they totally understood.
Yeah.
And another thing about what is happening here that's so exciting, I'm reporting personally as well as sharing what I've heard from the collective as far as what we've talked about. But letting go of control of how you think this is going to unfold is very important. Don't you agree?
And it broke up a little bit. Can you take that
Oh,
again?
letting
Yeah.
go of control of how you think this is going to unfold is important.
Yes, definitely, because it will be nothing like you imagine it. Because you are up for a big surprise if you think it's going to unfold just like you imagine it, because that are on a very very personal level. We all perceive things differently, but the I like to separate the mind from the feelings and the soul a little bit, because the mind is, we have learned this program from almost from the start we were born. We were programmed by school and for many times in the military. and so on in education, and then from
I heard military and
our
education.
bonds, we learn about, and we let go of that because now it's breaking up again. Oh, this is
Yeah,
bad.
I know.
I don't
I
know
can
if this
I can hear
really
you.
is going to be. Yeah, I can hear you, but it's breaking up a lot.
Well, I think since I'm the one recording
I
on my
don't
end,
know if it's
I
going
think it's been
good.
tolerable. I think it's tolerable. I think what I'd like
Yeah,
to do though is wrap it up. We talked about a lot of things, how we're transitioning to the next level. I think a lot of
yeah,
people they just like to hear people talk about this because
yeah,
it just gives them confirmation and it helps quell their fears as to whether this is really ever going to happen or not. Because it is.
yeah,
It's happening right now.
yeah. It's happening, and it's very important to understand that we also learn to disconnect from the collective. That's a part of the elite to make you feel singular and make you feel disconnected. But you have never been and will never be disconnected from the collective. That's not possible.
Yeah, and
So
that
that is,
doesn't mean to that doesn't well, and that kind of ties into what I was talking about connecting again. I mean, some
I
people have
didn't get
needed to
that.
be, it kind of ties into when I was talking about needing to be connected to people again and not being, not being your introverted self. This is like the last step is connecting again, not being disconnected.
Yeah,
All of us together being
yeah,
connected again.
yes. Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Well, Lars, I'm
Couldn't,
gonna.
um, this is not going so good. I think it's breaking up so much now, so maybe we should continue or doing this another day because
Sounds good.
yeah, when
It's
uh,
been a pleasure to.
when we are connected in the right way.
It's been, well, we're connected. It's just that
Yes.
something is keeping this. I mean, I have full internet connection here. It's
Yeah.
very interesting, but it's been a pleasure to share you with our listeners, our N5D people
Mm.
today, and I hope to do this again soon. I'll be back in Florida in about a week or so, maybe a week and a half, and
Yeah.
be back, joined back with Greg and get back to 5D again. And I'll be very much looking forward to that. And
Yeah.
I will have perfect internet there, and we can continue this at another time.
Yeah. And I also want to tell people that if they have questions, it's totally okay to ask that question to me on from my website or on my YouTube channel if they want to have an answer for something in their life that they are thinking about. I can't promise that I have answer for everything, but I will do my best to answer your question. But then I want you also to be serious, not silly question, because that you can take with your friends. But if they're having issues they want to talk about, they are welcome to connect with me.
So you kind of cut
Contact me.
out. So you said on your website and then also on your Facebook.
Yeah, or the YouTube channel. They
Oh,
can,
YouTube channel.
yeah,
Okay.
they can
So they
write in
just
the
comment
comments field.
on any one of the videos. Okay.
Yeah,
And you're also
yes.
on Facebook though. You're also on Facebook
So
as well.
I didn't hear that.
You're also on Facebook as well.
Yeah, I am. I am. But that's yeah, I am. But that's are more on the private side. So yeah,
Okay.
you can try to
So
connect
I'll
there.
put
But
the YouTube link and the
website and
website link.
YouTube channel. Yeah. Yes.
Okay, Lassie,
Lassie. Yeah. Woo,
it's
woo,
been a pleasure.
woo, woo.
It's been a pleasure, and
Yes. Yeah.
we'll catch up later.
It's yeah we do because yeah I have to look at this because it's a lot of
Okay.
things you were going to say that were cut out and it's a little irritating, but I think we will uh, keep going when you're back in your real reality.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds good. Okay. Bye for now.
Love you. Take care.
Love
Bye
you.
bye.
Bye.